SABC reporter Patricia Visagie spoke to Sophie De Bruyn at the event. Take a look.
On the eve of the annual Women's Day celebration, of course, the spirit of the historic Women's March that took place in 1956 today comes alive as, again, women in South Africa are honored, they're remembered, and their contributions in the country are, of course, again put under the spotlight. But I think more important, the issues, the challenges that women face daily in our society goes hand in hand with, of course, the celebration. And part of this is, of course, tracing back the footsteps of the icons that have played such a pivotal role in, of course, the road to the country's democracy. And one of the iconic figures today that's part of the journey that's taking place to, of course, honor the iconic women who, as I said, were at the front of that historic march is Umama Sophie De Bruyn. Of course, she's an anti-apartheid stalwart who is part of today's event, as we have been going to the graves of some of the icons who have played a pivotal role, as I said, in, of course, standing against the apartheid system and ultimately paving the road to democracy in this country. Thank you so much, Ahmed, for joining us. Today, we celebrate yet another time, an important part of our history, and that is, of course, as we mark the journey to Women's Day that will take place tomorrow. But we can't have these celebrations without remembering the icons, the heroes who have brought us to where we are today. Just your feelings as we stand here today.
No, you're quite right to say that we need to remember those icons that started all of this, but we also need to remember the many women today that are in our country that are doing wonderful things to eradicate all the scourges that women are suffering from. And so we came to pay homage to our icons, and in their memory we want to also say thank you to the women that are following in their footsteps. And these are young women, and we are very proud of them because they are doing great work. They have actually also forced our government to take steps and to be urgent in removing some of the barriers that are obstructing their onward movement and to be known, to be valued. So yes, we are very honored today. We are here at the graves, and we want to also say that next year, 2022, will be in October, will be the centenary of our icon here, Rahima Musa. So we want to have this centenary as a whole year. This year it's the Women of Fortitude. So next year we will have Rahima Musa as her centenary. We want to highlight that for the whole year.
One of the important things that you have mentioned is that during your time when you united as women, you had one enemy. But times have changed, the dynamics of our society have changed. Women currently, as you said, are facing multiple enemies. What's the message that you, again, highlighting for them on how they can actually fight those multiple enemies?
The first thing is for women to be united and to be brave. They must be united. And women are normally brave because they have so many irons in the fire. They have to look after their children. They have to look, if they are working women, they still have to come sometimes to cook supper. There is patriarchy, and this is a great issue that we must get rid of. So the unity is very important for women. Together, work together, and take note of one another, take care of one another, which we did. I was the youngest after Mum Helen Joseph and Lillian Ngoy and Mum Rahima Musa. But they all cared for us younger ones. I wasn't the only young one, but in the march there were other also. But as we worked in the Federation of South African Women, they nurtured us, they cared for us, they looked after us, they built us. And what is important for women is to build one another, not to pull one another down.
You said you're also standing proud that recently women again showed leadership when they, rejected the unrest that were taking place in the country. Just share that with us again.
That women had to adapt.
No, the unrest that took place, the violence that swept through our country.
The violence that took place is something that women must reject outright with contempt. Because the advantage was taken of the poverty and all the ills that are confronting our country. And they benefited from that. They took advantage rather from that and brought this unrest about. But luckily women have rejected and shall reject it and will reject it at all times, that they should never be part of such uprisings ever again.
Thank you so much, the anti-apartheid stalwart, Mama Sophie De Bruyn, as we gear up to mark the, of course, 2021 Women's Day celebrations that will take place tomorrow. But today the focus to lay the foundation, a journey to, of course, honor and celebrate the women of fortitude. And these are the women who were at the forefront of the historic 1956 march. We've been at the grave sites of Mama, of course, Lillian Ngoyi, Helen Joseph, and right now here at the grave site of Rahima Musa, are all names that one would say are very popular in terms of, marking the South African anti-apartheid, or rather apartheid resistance history. These are the women who today, of course, are being honored, as I said, as we pave the road, mark the road to, of course, celebrating the 2021 Women's Day historic moment. But the issue here, the highlight again, is that it should be more than just a celebration. The issues that continue to cripple the lives of many women, in particular young women, these issues should be, of course, paid attention to and prioritized. Gender equality being one of the main focus points that again are being highlighted. And of course, let's not forget about the sensitive issue of gender-based violence. That too, Mama Sophie De Bruyn highlighting that this is an issue that needs to be fought without any hesitance. So a lot of issues on the table that needs to be dealt with to ensure that women in South Africa, in particular young women, have an equal opportunity, an equal role, and an equal level of respect that they deserve as, of course, their male counterparts. It's back to you in the studio.
All right, Patricia, thank you very much indeed for that report. Let's get to